Hello, Las Vegas, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of Golf at the Park, Angel Park's weekly interview show. Thank you very much for liking, commenting, and subscribing on these videos. We really appreciate it. Today's guest, we're excited to have Jess Negromonte.
Hi, guys.
Thank you for coming in so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
I'm really excited about Jess because going back even 2 years now, over 2 years, she had posted that she was playing at Angel Park. She was an influencer, and so before this show was even thought of, I was following her. Angel Park was already pretty into her, and as the show grew, I started reaching out more to guests, and she's not a local, but she has played Angel Park quite a bit, and so we're really excited to have you.
I love it. Thank you so much. I'm not a local anymore, but I used to live here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll probably get into that. It's the Jess Show, so tell us your story.
Oh, where do I start? Golf-wise, we can start with like how I started golfing.
Let's start early because you have a background.
Ooh.
Yeah, let's get a little bit of the background.
Okay. Like growing up in Brazil,
Sure.
yeah. So growing up in Brazil until I was 12, my mom and dad owned a mini golf in Brazil.
So they owned a mini golf course.
The only mini golf course in the city, so it was really popular.
Oh, that's so fun. So you were
Yeah.
playing mini golf early.
Yeah, I did. I did. So I didn't really get into golf because in Brazil it was just really hard to get access to golf. You know, like there's not a lot. There's only one golf course in the whole city. My dad played just with friends here and there, especially because he owned a mini golf, so he had a good connections. Played just a little bit, but there is not like a lot of like the game was just not grown enough in Brazil for young kids to play. So I didn't play growing up at all. Moved to the US when I was 12. So in Brazil, I did a lot of things. I did track. I was a swimmer.
So you were athletic
gymnastics.
growing up.
Yes, a lot of sports in Brazil. So, and then when I got here, because I didn't really like speak English or just kind of like didn't get to do any sports. You know, my mom was always working, so didn't get to do a lot of sports. I was 12. I really wanted to do something, but just couldn't. So didn't have access, you know. So that was not until I moved to Vegas and I was probably like 26, 27. That's when I kind of like got into golf.
So here in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
were you
Probably
just-
Angel Park was the first course
Angel
that I've
Park
ever played.
was the first course you
Yeah.
played. That's so
Yes.
fun
Yeah.
and great for us to have on the show. Wow. So you moved to Las Vegas from Brazil, and what are you doing? What did you move here for?
So I was 12. So my mom.
Oh, so you went to high school here.
Oh yeah. No,
Where'd you go
not
to
not in Vegas,
Oh.
in Florida.
Oh,
So
okay.
when I moved to Vegas, I was about 26, and that was a model. I worked a lot of the conventions. I worked for Cooper Tires, so I worked all their races. So I was traveling around with them, doing all the races, working conventions here in Vegas. I was also a TV host for a Spanish show in Tampa before I moved over here. So I have that
explains
background.
why you're so polished. I love that. That's going to make this easy. So golf starts when does modeling start golf, or does golf start first?
So I had friends that golfed here in Vegas, so I wanted to try. I think like I had the background growing up in Brazil on a mini golf, so it just kind of naturally I want to try. And once I did, I just fell in love with golf. Like the first time I was like, I want to do this.
You were bit early.
Yeah. I was like, I need to do this. I want it. And I just wanted to hit good shots, you know, like every time. And I was like, I really love this. And that was it.
So some friends took you out, and then you just started calling them, wanting to go again?
Yeah. Yep.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Were you practicing a lot then, or were
I
you
was.
just, yeah. So tell me about that, because I love the people that get bit so early and that they're grinding right away.
So yes and no. Right at the beginning, when I just got into it, I was practicing a lot, but then I got really busy with work, right? I started working on here one of the pool parties, and it was just so draining. So I didn't really have time to practice as much as I wanted. Then COVID hit, and I had all the time in the world. So that's when I really got to like, okay, I'm getting out there and just practicing my golf game. And that's when social media started as well, like through COVID.
Well, that's what I was
Yeah.
going to ask. So do you start just posting them for fun, or do you kind of start with an intent to use this in conjunction with modeling and perhaps turning into an influencer in golf like you are now?
That's a good question because I think I just started for fun. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to show my journey out there, like didn't even think about like making it into a business or anything like that at first because I was just starting to golf. So I didn't think, oh, let's start this as a business. So I also worked as a caddy over here. So I was out there anyways. I was always golfing and or on the golf course for work. So it kind of just like built up, where I started like posting and I started getting a lot of companies reaching out to me and, wanting to send me their stuff and for posts or whatever. And that's that like slowly it started.
Do you remember some of the first ones where you were like, wow, this is going to be fun. I can make golf similar to my modeling career.
It was kind of weird because it's like there's golf and there's modeling. It's kind of hard to combine them, like so I didn't really feel like at the beginning I was going to like it was modeling turning into golfing and modeling, right? It was kind of like I actually had a time where I was like, okay, what do I want out of this page? Do I want to post like more modeling photos or do I want to post like my golf journey because it can get a little,
Right.
So I just started with like posting more of the just like I transitioned into making it just a golf page, and just showing a journey and becoming a content creator more than just a model because like a model is just you're posing there, you're showing whatever you're wearing, and a content creator you're showing like talking about the products and talking more than just modeling
Right.
itself. So
And that's how it starts to monetize itself, right?
exactly.
One of the first ones that I saw you do out here was with Leah Gruber, and she's going to be on the
Love
show
her.
pretty soon. Shout out, Leah.
Hi, Leah.
And so you work in conjunction with a bunch of your pals too. Cindy, we're going to shoot
Right.
later today, and I know you work with her too, and you guys are going to go play today. Does that do you all meet each other through this and start doing that?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. Through we all kind of work together, we caddy together. So that's kind of like how it all started with just meeting girls that were into golf. And Cindy and Leah really they love the game too.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have, so we got that in common. So we would get out there and actually play together more than just working together. We actually would go out there and play together.
How do you shoot them? Do you have a director or producer, or do you do all of this yourself?
So my fiance, he shoots all my content for the most. Sometimes I get out there with some girls and we do it ourselves, but he's a big help. Thankfully, I have that because it's really hard to just get out there and shoot by yourself.
Sure.
Very hard.
It's a learning experience.
Yeah.
And you can tell also going through everybody's pages that there's a progression always too. You learn new tricks, you learn fun things.
Yeah. And every time like you shoot with a different person, you learn something, you
Right.
know? And they learn from you as well, So it's kind of cool because Shay was learning a couple of things we shot yesterday. So she was learning a couple of things.
We
as
just
well,
had
so it's
Shay
really
on a
cool.
couple of weeks ago. Yeah, and you guys shot content yesterday. Where were you shooting yesterday?
Valley High.
Oh, fun. What'd you guys do out there?
We played a scramble together, like kind of like what can we shoot together as a scramble?
That's great.
6 holes.
Were you
coming up.
sponsoring anybody? Were you representing everybody, or did you just go have fun?
No, we were just, we both have the people that we work with. I work with Seven Diamonds. I think she has her sponsors as well. But we just, collaborate to create great content for everybody.
So what's that trip like? You live in Tampa now, right? You used to be a local, but now you aren't. And so we were waiting to schedule this episode when you were back in town. And you said you were going to be in town for a few days. Is that a work trip? Is that a pleasure trip? Is it mixed in together?
I think it's a little bit of both, you
Yeah.
know, just get out there, collaborate with some people and have fun. I consider my job fun, like it's
Sure.
yeah, it's also play for me. So why not? You're getting out there and playing golf, like
And you get to go all over.
Yeah.
I've seen you on a lot of courses all around the country and out of the country.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us some of your trips that you've been to, some of the fun courses you've played?
yeah. I actually don't feel like I've played a lot of courses out of the country. Now, I can't really think of it right now, but some of the courses that I've collaborated with that I loved so much, I did a while ago. I did Omni Barton Creek. That was amazing. Kanapali in Hawaii.
Kanapali's beautiful.
Yeah, and they're amazing there as well. Last trip to San Diego, we did Aviara. It's so beautiful, like one of my favorite courses. It's an Arnold Palmer, it's so beautiful. What else? So many. Sand Hollow.
Sand Hollow?
Sand Hollow over here.
Yeah, you've played some of the great ones. How's your game progressed?
Oh my God. My game is getting a lot better for sure. So I'm on this journey of trying to break 80 right now. Got pretty close. Last time I shot an 83 with a quadruple bogey in one of the holes.
Oh no!
Yeah. So if it wasn't for that hole, I would have broken 80. It was so bad.
Breaking 80, I think, is the big number for golfers. There's a lot of them. Breaking 90 is for some. Breaking 80, shooting even par. But breaking 80 is a really big one. Did you have a goal of doing that early, or has that just been something that's happened in the last year or two?
Oh yeah, it's totally new. I didn't think I was going to get this good, to be honest.
Yeah.
When I started and I kind of started taking lessons, my goal was just to be able to play a full round and feel good, you know, not just losing balls everywhere. I just want to be able to play a good full round. And here I am trying to break 80 very soon.
That's great. How's your game progressed? Has it just been through playing, or do you take lessons?
So I just took a lesson, but with a coach in San Diego.
Let's shout your coach out.
Yeah, Mike Maggs. He was amazing. I loved that lesson. But I don't, in day to day, I don't take lessons. I watch a lot of videos online. For sure. Kind of feel like what I'm doing wrong with my swing, take videos, and then go compare it to other really good players that I like.
We've had a few guests on the show that learn through YouTube and comparing swings. And that's interesting because that's only a phenomenon that's happened in the last 10, 15 years.
Right, because there's so much content out there for you to learn from. But it's hard because I just learned on the last lesson that I had how hard it is because sometimes you're looking at something bigger than what it actually that you need to change, right? For me, what my coach was telling me was that I was like, oh, I had 4 things on my mind. He's like, you don't need to think all those 4 things. I'm going to give you one thing that's going to fix all those 4 things. You know what I mean?
I was going to ask you what particularly you're working on. Do you have any swing thoughts currently that you try to tell yourself?
So before I had this lesson, I was like, oh, I have to transfer the weight more, kind of get on my right leg in order to be able to transfer, do certain things. And with this lesson, it was more like I had my club face open every time, on my backswing, I would do this. And I was kind of just hey, all you need to do to fix your swing is to kind of close your face on your backswing, right? Start with a, closed face to fix that open face. So that's something that I'm working on every time so that when I come back, my face is not open. When I impact, my face is not open because that was my struggle.
That's really interesting and a good thing to work on. What about your clubs? Do you have certain clubs you play, certain clubs you like? What are you playing right now?
I have a mixed bag right now. I started off with back in the day, I've kind of changed my clubs. I started off with Cobras. Then I got fitted for Callaways in 2020 probably. And I just got new clubs. So I just upgraded from I'd say ladies club to super forgiving clubs to the T200s, Titleist T200s, which they're not forgiving compared to the ones that I had. So I had to kind of adjust, because with the other one, I could even have bad swings and I'd still hit good and straight, right? So it was oh, this is, that's why I was getting so close to breaking 80. But now with these new clubs, I will eventually be a way better player, but I need to have the right swing, right? So, which will help me work on my swing and be even a better golfer. So, that's the good thing.
That's so fun. Let's talk about apparel because I know you're wearing some sponsors right now. Let's make sure that we shout them out and tell me a little bit about the female guests we've had on have both mentioned apparel and lack thereof until the last year or two and the need for it to be better. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that and some of your sponsors?
Yeah, so I work with Seven Diamonds right now. They're amazing. They are out of California. They're actually started off as a lifestyle brand, and they've been getting into golf. And they have amazing quality, amazing apparel, but they also have really, like for women, cute stuff and lifestyle. That's what I like because I like to be able to use lifestyle stuff at the course as well.
That's interesting. So they were a lifestyle company before they were golf. So they didn't set out making golf apparel.
Right.
It just came from the new brand. I think, and that's probably one of the reasons it's so great.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself looking for certain types of things to wear?
It depends on the day, to be honest. It depends on my mood. So what I wear, like, it really depends on my mood. If I'm feeling like today I'm, trying to break 80, so I want to dress like super professional and just feel good and feel like, I mean business. If I'm out, okay, like I want to, I feel happy, I dress more colorful, so it varies a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, I have different moods to like what I wear, but I really like to be able to show fashion, like on the course, like just be able to use different things that's not always golf and use it with, like combine with golf clothing and just to mix it up and make it my own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. What about consuming golf? Do you watch much golf on TV? Because you probably go to a lot of these events.
Yeah.
You get paid to go to some of these events. What are some of the favorite ones you've been to? Do you have any favorite players?
I'm a big golf nerd, to be honest. So
let's go. That's what we're here for.
I think I went to the Masters this year.
You got to go to Augusta this year?
I did. So I won the lottery. Second time ever applying, and I won the lottery.
Yeah.
Somehow I was like, what?
Tell us about that trip.
Yeah. So I won. It was just so unexpected. I was like, oh, I'm going to apply, and then I won, and I was like, oh my God. And I won on the Wednesday, the par 3 contest. And you can bring cameras, which was awesome for me, like creating content as well and be able to take photos there, have those memories. So that was really cool. That was like, and people were trying to like buy my tickets. I was like, nope, not selling it for whatever money it is. It's mine. I'm going.
Who'd you go with? Your fiance?
With my fiance.
That's
yeah.
so fun.
Oh, yeah.
You guys had to have a ball. Did you stay in Augusta? I've heard that one of the hardest things is actually where you stay.
We did. Yeah, we were able to find like just a hotel close by, and
that's great
for a good price for whatever reason. Maybe because it was Wednesday, but yeah.
That's awesome. What was your favorite thing about Augusta?
Oh my God, there's so many things. The shop, for sure, the pro shop.
The golf shop?
That was awesome, and all the merchandise was really cool. But I'd say the grass, like it just looks so unreal and so perfect, and you just get down and touch it, and you're like, is this real? Because it's so pure and perfect.
It is beautiful.
Yeah. Have you been?
It's a pristine. No, I have not.
I hope we get to
we've
go.
talked about going for a long time.
Yeah.
So you said you were golf nerds. Who are some of your favorite players?
So when I started golfing, Ricky Fowler was my favorite, right? Back then.
He just almost pulled off at the U.S. Open, but then he won just last week.
Oh, yeah.
So he got there.
I know. I was going crazy. We were literally sitting on the car, and we were like, "Come on, Ricky, you can do it. We can do it." And then he won. I just started yelling in the car. Like,
So fun.
It was literally like Brazil won the World Cup or something. How happy I was he won.
That's crazy that it was that big of a moment for you. I love that.
Yeah.
Golf nerd. What else? What do you?
So I'm a big fan of Rose Zhang right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, she's just.
Let's talk about her because we don't have a lot of female tour players come up.
So I actually watched her documentary, the Stanford golf documentary, and they're the best out there for
They're
women.
so good.
And the best comes out of Stanford, right? So, so just watched the documentary, and I just kind of like, oh, she's so great, right? And it was right after she won like the women's amateur, right? And then I just kind of like kept an eye on her. I just already kind of fell in love with her personality through the documentary. And then she became a pro after I watched the documentary, and then she won her first tournament as a pro, which it was just so insane. And I just love her, kind of like her attitude, on the course and how she handles herself. She's just like, her personality is like super nice, cute, but once like she's on the course, like she means business.
She's focused.
At the same time, she's very like even keel, like, right? So
do you have to work on that? Do
Oh,
you
for
find
sure.
yourself having to work on that?
100%.
What are some of the things that you try to do to think about that? What's some of your headspace when you're going out to play and you're trying to stay focused?
So right now, my coach that I just worked with last week or this week, he was kind of telling me to work on, especially when I go to the range, I'm just hitting balls. I'm not even thinking. And he's like, you're going to put that bucket on the other side and you're going to treat every ball like it's the only one you have. So I'd have to go grab the ball and then just hit that shot as like it was the only shot.
Oh, wow.
Because I have the tendency of just hit a bad shot, pick up a ball, try to fix it, and you're just going to keep repeating that same bad shot because that's what's on your mind at that moment.
Yeah, you want to clear your head.
Yeah.
And just focus on that. That's a really good tip to work on. What are some of the things that you're not crazy about in golf or you might want to change about golf?
Ooh. I'd say, which it's been happening, I think like the apparel, it's changing a lot. I think, like with like younger people coming into the game and just kind of letting people be themselves where, I mean, I still love the whole idea of the collar shirt, but I think like for certain courses, people should be able to wear something a little bit, like more of themselves and not to be so uptight when it comes to apparel, maybe, which it has been changing a lot, you know?
Which is great. What are some of your favorite things about golf? What's your favorite thing about golf? And that changes, so maybe just right now.
My favorite thing, okay. So I'd say that my favorite thing about golf is also the opposite of what I just said. It's like the diversity right now of the different people getting into golf and being able to get all these different personalities and bringing people together. So you go out with your friend and you're playing with two other people that are completely different people than you, like different personalities, different styles, and just being able to connect through golf. Because in other sports, you're playing, you're moving most of it, but golf, you're riding together on the cart, you're standing on the tee box and talking and getting to know people. So I really love that about golf.
I'm guessing coming from Brazil, diversity is even more important, right? I mean, you probably learned that just moving here at 12, a little bit about that. That's really, really fun. Where are some of the places you want to go? Do you have goals with not playing golf, but your golf career?
It can go so many ways. There's, so many opportunities out there, and I'm pretty open to a lot of things. So there's different opportunities out there. I've seen so many different things with golf that I would like to do. it can come from like having a podcast. I just, started my YouTube channel, that I'm able to create, or maybe work with a tour or with a channel, or working like with a brand, creating content, making my own brand. There's so many opportunities, right? And I'm a very creative person. So I don't know, whatever comes my way, I'm open to trying it out when it comes to golf.
Yeah, building your brand. You were already on the front edge of being a golf influencer, and building your brand is cool. Why don't you shout out your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so it's going to be Jess Negromonte Golf. We have have like 5 really cool videos coming up, collaborations. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe.
And that link will be down below under this video. So please go there and subscribe to hers as well. That's exciting. Have you branched into TikTok at all? Have you embraced that?
So I started TikTok a long time ago, actually through COVID, because everybody was on TikTok, and kind of go back and forth with TikTok, because when I started with TikTok back in the day, I really liked to do just what everybody was doing, which had nothing to do with golf. I think my other creative side was just kind of like,
Shay mentioned that her TikTok was more of her dancing to the dances.
Yeah,
and stuff.
dancing or just acting, talking, doing the voiceovers and stuff like that. And I really had a lot of fun doing it through COVID. But, when everything started getting back into place and got more busy, like just having, and especially now with, like creating content, creating for YouTube and Instagram, kind of put that aside. Like here and there, I'll post like a golf video now and there, but yeah, it's a lot because you have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Instagram is just providing so many different things now, right? So
they just launched their own version of Twitter, I think yesterday.
Now they have the broadcasting, this, that. So you're like, oh my God, like you can only handle so much. So I decided to just focus more on Instagram and YouTube because I really love YouTube. I like the long version content.
That was the idea of this show, is just something for long form content that wasn't being done out there. Is always, so when you can find that, I think that's your niche and a fun way to build your brand.
Yeah.
Let's talk about maybe something that's uncomfortable, and maybe I'll get a great surprise and there hasn't been a problem. But this is a men's dominated sport. Most of your followers, I'm guessing, are male. Mm-hmm. Do you have any problems with men? I mean, being just, it's supposed to be such a game of etiquette and a gentleman's sport. And I would guess that there's a part of your job that might not be as much of that.
Right. I mean, I've had uncomfortable situations on the course where I just didn't feel welcome because I don't know if because I was a woman or what was going on, but it just felt like I wasn't welcome, or like that was probably like 2 years ago. I feel like now there's a lot more like ladies getting out there and playing, which I love, and just getting on the range. I was just very self-conscious when I started because I would go by myself. I loved it so much that I would just go by myself, and I didn't want to embarrass myself, and I was just out there by myself trying to hit balls, and it was at that time it was only guys at the range. I was the only girl, so I felt just a little uncomfortable sometimes. Like, do I fit in? What's going on? But then, I would look online and see all these girls just golfing. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I love this, And especially when you get out there and play, I felt a couple times where like, oh, we're playing with a girl. Sometimes I felt kind of like the looks, kind of like, oh, is it going to be slow or not? And there was one time actually at this course where this guy that worked at the course, it felt like he was always, I might be wrong, I don't know, but that's what we felt like, is that because we were girls, they thought we were the ones holding up the groups, which it was not. It was the group in front of us. But
right, you were stereotyped.
Yeah, so stereotyped. So I've had a couple things, but in general, like, it's been very welcoming. Like, people have been extremely nice. Online, you will get the keyboard warriors. That's what they call keyboard
that's
warriors.
a good phrase.
Yeah, I learned that from the DoD Kings, the keyboard warriors.
The DoD King was out here a month or two ago, and he's come up on the show before. So keyboard warriors is great. And one of the things that we try to do out here, Random Golf Club has been great in helping us start women's only leagues and women's only meetups, because that's a very common feeling that you had. With women. And so I think it's important that we try to tell that story. Mallory Berry was on, and she said that one of her favorite things, because she can really hit the ball, Shay can really play too, is that most men are not expecting that when they get paired with them. And she really likes that when she goes out to play, there's almost that shock and awe.
Yeah, so that happens all the time. All the time when, and my fiance, he's a really good golfer too. So we just show up as a couple, and man, let me tell you, people always get compliments of like, wow, you guys are so good. Or the guy, there's a guy playing by himself, and he's just trying to get out there, play 18 super fast, and he get paired up with a couple, and we're playing like really good, and he's like so excited, and he's like, man, how do I get my wife into it, so it's really cool. They get really impressed out there when you're playing good, so I love that. I got all the compliments.
That's so fun. I can imagine you get lots of compliments. This has been really neat, and I appreciate you sitting down with us. Thank you so much, Jess. That's going to take us to the end of the first segment of our show, and we're going to play a par 5 of questions right now. We play the same par 5 every week, ask the same 5 questions, and come up with all sorts of different answers. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. Tell me your favorite golf movie.
Ooh, there's so many good ones out there. Of course, Happy Gilmore is everybody's probably favorite, but the greatest game ever played.
You're not the first person to say that.
Really?
Yes, it's come up before on the show, and I agree that it is one of the best movies. It doesn't happen to be my particular favorite, but it's great.
What's your favorite?
My favorite's 10 Cup.
Okay.
But the greatest game ever played is so fun just because it's a true story.
Right.
And tell me, do you remember the first time you watched it and why that affected you so much?
I've watched it a couple times, but it's just probably kind of cool seeing, like somebody that didn't fit in. I think there's a part that says something about just following your dreams and, like anything is possible, and that's what happened, and the whole thing about the caddy just being motivating him so much. It's so cool to see it. And,
I love that answer so much.
Yeah.
Shot number 2. What's your favorite golf club in your bag and why?
It depends on the day, right? Mm-hmm. Depends on the day. Right now, I'd say probably my pitching wedge because it's just easy right now. I feel like my driver is extremely long for me, so I need to get that
You're still
fixed.
Getting used to the new club.
Yeah. No, so the driver is not a new club.
Oh, okay. The irons were.
I need a new shaft. The irons, I'm kind of like finally getting the hang of the new clubs. So I'd say my pitching wedge because it's now fitted for me. If it's not my irons, the other clubs are not really fitted for me as good as my irons right now. So I'd say the pitching wedge right now.
And it's just comfortability. It's because you know you can hit it well.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. What's your least favorite club in your bag?
Right now, which you never know, right? Like last month, my driver was my favorite. Right now, it's my least favorite. It's just whee.
So do you not take it out on the tee box sometimes, or do you just kind of stubborn your way through it and keep hitting it?
Yeah, I'm stubborn.
I love that.
Keep going.
I love that. Question number 3, shot number 3, my favorite question. What's your dream foursome? So you can pick any 3 people, alive or dead, to play a round of golf with. Who would you pick and where would you play?
Where is pretty easy. Augusta.
Yeah. You've been there, so you know.
Yeah. And then my dream foursome, I'd say Tiger Woods, of course. You have to. Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer.
Drinking an Arnold Palmer right here.
You're drinking an Arnold Palmer.
I love Arnold Palmer.
Arnold Palmer designed Angel Park, so we love that answer.
I love it. And Last one, Rose Zhang right now.
Yeah, Rose. Yeah, I love that.
Me and Rose against Tiger.
Let's go. That would be so fun. You could
Tiger
sell
and
that. You
Arnie.
could sell tickets to that. I love that answer. Question number 4. You just mentioned, maybe this is the answer. What's your aiming fluid? What are you drinking out on the golf course?
Probably Arnold Palmer. It's just so refreshing. You know, Arnold Palmer is my to-go when I need something refreshing.
Yeah, and it keeps sugar out of your system, or
Yeah.
gives you just enough, right?
Exactly.
That's great. Question number 5. When you're on the golf course and you hit a bad shot, do you say anything to yourself? Do you yell anything out loud? And if so, what's your word or phrase? Because a lot of golfers go to an old faithful.
I used to kind of get a little out of hand and say bad things and stuff like that, but now I'm just confused. So I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, how, why?
Are you kidding
like, are
me
you
is a
kidding
good
me?
one.
Kind of like fighting with the ball, like, or the club, like, what? Like, why? Are you kidding me? Like,
Have you ever thrown a club?
no,
for
have
you.
never,
That's great.
no. No.
We get some club throwers and some club snappers. And
Really?
yeah. So I thought I'd
Gosh.
throw that in there as well.
Have you?
I have thrown and broken a club.
Oh my God,
I've
Dad.
thrown more than I've broken. Jess, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
This
you
was
for
a
having
blast,
me.
and we will see you soon. Make sure you
Yeah.
follow
We're
her. Go
done
to her
already?
YouTube channels. We're done.
We're having so much fun.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was a great
Good.
time.
Thank
Thank
you
you
again.
for having me.
All right,
Yeah.
follow Jess and all of her things that'll be listed below and her sponsors. And thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. Until next time, hit 'em straight from your friends at Angel Park. Cheers.